Welcome back, everybody. So, in the last video I showed you how to construct the map and give it some textures and some lights. So in this next video I am going to be showing you how to add the necessities for a map. So first things first, we're gonna right click, go to Info, Player, Start. So this is where our player is going to be starting. I just hit Shift D because that arrow tells you which way he or she will be facing when they spawn. And I'm not 100% sure, so I'm gonna actually first off, then we'll create 4 script structs. So script struct Shift D, that's the way I want my player to be facing when they spawn. You want them to be off the ground a little bit for when they spawn. That way you don't have any errors there. I'll go script struct face that way. It's raised off the ground. And we'll go script struct Shift D to make it face that way. And we need one more for our 4th player. And it looks like we're all even here. Sweet. And we're gonna hit save. Now I'm just gonna reference to the stock map here for a second. So we'll go here. No. Okay, so I'm just gonna click, hit N. Target name, initial spawn points. Okay. So now I'm gonna go back to the map we were working on. There we go. I'm gonna click on these 4 script structs. We'll hit N. Now right here it says key, so we're gonna put in target name, and for the value we are gonna go initial underscore spawn underscore points, enter. So now that is all set and ready to go. Now the next thing your map is going to need are some path nodes. We're gonna hit node, path node, and it'll just be this pink box. And you don't want them to be too far apart from each other. I'd say this, what I got going right here, is the max I'd put them apart from each other. So we're just going to, and your path nodes cannot be touching anything, otherwise they won't work properly. So we're just gonna, and in those situations, like when you have stuff in the way like this, like your player spawn points, I'm just going to put them as close as I can, so that way they all connect together properly. Okay, so now zombies can move freely around in our room. So now the next thing we're going to want to do is make the zombie spawn point. Now when you do this, you're going to want to make it so the zombies can't be seen. So we'll put it right over here. We'll go right click, go actor, access, zombie, jur, and burr underscore Genhauer. And here is our zombie spawner. We're going to drag it up, that way it's not touching the ground. Shift D to change the way we want to face. And so now I'm going to bring up N, and we have a few keys and values to enter in here. So for your first key, you're going to want to go script underscore noteworthy zombie underscore spawner, and then hit enter. And as you can see, it appears right here. Next thing you're going to want to do is to count for your key, and then your value, go 9999, so 4 9s, then hit enter. Then we'll want to go for a key, type in script underscore force spawn, and for your value do 1. Then we'll go target name, And for your value for your target name, it can be whatever you want it to be. We'll just call it spawner 1. Then we'll hit enter. And then we'll for our key we'll do spawn flags. Our value will do 3. So that is, if you put all those in there, you will be good to go for your zombie. So here is your initial zombie. And usually it's good to put like 2 or 3 at a spawn point. That way they just spawn a little bit faster. And now there's our 2 zombie spawners. So next thing we're gonna do is make sure they can get to this window. So I'm gonna shift left click, or actually we're gonna go right click, node, path node. So right there. I'm just hitting space to replicate these. And we're just gonna wanna have them leading up to the window, and I usually wrap mine around this prefab right here. And as you can see, I got quite a few path nodes. That just make sure they actually go to the window. Now, next thing we're gonna do is usually you have a barrier for them to tear down and for you to rebuild. So for that, we're gonna go right click, misc prefab. I'll hit N to get rid of this little window right here. There we go. And we're gonna scroll down to where? Zombie mode. Double click. We'll go down, and you're gonna want to go to where it says window_med.map. So here is the window that you want them to tear down, and you'll see these 2 script structs down here. It's a part of it. Make sure they're facing in towards the room, the way you want them to climb in. We're just gonna put that right over our window, kind of touching the wall so it doesn't look like it's just floating there. There we go, and we can drag it down a little bit. So now we got a barrier on our window for the zombies to tear down. I'm gonna hit save quick. Sometimes it crashes, and that's never good. So now next thing, I'm gonna get rid of our actor here. And so the next thing we're going to want to do is let's add a little hallway out here. So we're gonna extend the map. We'll make it just like a grassy area. I'm gonna create a simple wall right here. Oh, and another thing I found that kind of useful is if I shift left click right here, then I hit escape. When you drag to create a new brush, it'll be that same height, which is kind of useful. So we're just gonna create a tiny little fenced in area thing right here. And of course, now that we've made our little wall, we're gonna select both of them, delete that overlapping part by hitting X, clipping it, deselecting, and then hitting backspace, so we have that nice corner there. And then we'll do it again to this wall. Deselect these, backspace, delete the overlapping. And last but not least, we'll do it to this wall. Shift enter to keep this wall right here. And then we'll deselect and remove the overlapping. So now they all are at good angles. Now I don't want this to be a tall wall, and so we're just gonna drag this down a little bit, and I guess we could have it line up here, and that's down one more. There we go. So we'll just make this a little brick wall, and for our sake we're gonna Control Shift to select our surfaces. Oops, there we go. Then we're gonna hit textures, usage, let's do exterior wall. Actually, let's just hit U, and I'm just gonna use the same brick texture here, so we got ourselves a little brick wall. There we go, and these bricks are kind of facing the wrong way to make it look realistic. So, or I suppose they're fine. But in those type of situations, what you do is you click on them, hit S, and you just hit rotate. As you can see, it rotates our brush right there. So now it looks just fine. Now, for this part, you would think, oh, the player can just hop over the wall, which is a problem when you're making a zombie map. So for that situation, I'm just gonna reselect the wall in space. So I made an exact copy of the wall. I'm gonna drag it up, and then I'm just gonna drag it all the way up so it's about as tall as there. Now what we want to do here is go textures, locale, tools, and hit clip. What clip is it's an invisible barrier that the player cannot, or zombies cannot go through. If you want it so that the player can go through it and not the zombies, you would hit Mon, this one right here. If you want it so that zombies can get through but players can't, so they can walk through a bush but you can't, you would hit clip player. But for this situation, we're just gonna use clip. There we go. And then next thing we're going to want to do is fill that area with path nodes so our zombies can walk out here. I'm just gonna select these two again, make copies of them. There we go. And now the next thing we want to do is create a buy trigger, or create a door for the player to buy. So for that, one second, I'm just gonna check our time here. Okay, so we're coming up on 12 minutes, so now that I've shown you some of the necessities for your map to run, or no, I almost forgot one quick thing. So next thing you're gonna want to do is drag over your entire room. And we'll drag this up all the way to your roof. So we got this. You're going to want to go to clip player, and we'll hit N, and for your key you'll have it be, oh, one more thing I forgot, you're going to want to right click, go to script, brush model, and there we go. Now we can do this. Now hit N, bring this up, and type in target name, and for the value hit playable underscore area. I'm just gonna double check to make sure that's right. So I'm gonna save my map, open up, and this is where it's nice to have that stock map, guys, because like I'm doing, you can go and reference to it to make sure everything's right. Target name, playable area, class name, trigger mode. Okay, sounds good, but I did one thing wrong. Apologize about that. Here we go. So we're actually going to want this to be right click, trigger multiple. Okay, so failed create entity. So we're going to delete that. I accidentally did something wrong. We're going to drag over this again. Drag it up so it fits our room nicely. There we go. And I'm going to right click, go trigger multiple. Then I'm going to hit N, bring up target name, playable area. And there we go. So that's all done. This is the end of part 3 for the video, inserting the necessities of the map. And there we go. Hit save and see you in the next video.